I think it depends on what group of people you're talking about, because I think that the relationship is different between different sets of people and the those who are supposed to protect them.
I think my experience is the relationship's fairly good. It can always be better, but it's fairly good. Oftentimes, there may be some perceptions that may be negative. I think once people find out what the reality is, it's a lot better than that perception.
Again, I think that depending on where you are, there's a lot of, in my community or in the black community, it's a lot of disdain and distrust for the police. There's no respect for the badge. There's no respect for the authority that the police is supposed to exude to the community.
I think the relationship around our county, as far as what I see, is pretty good. But I worry about the media and some of the news stories that are out there right now. And you just got to be really careful. And I hope that it's not indicative of every law enforcement officer and people take into account, some of the situations that they're put in.
I think it's bad. I think nowadays kids are brought up to hate the police and not respect authority, and go against it.
I think there's room for improvement, but I think that the more we engage in the community, the more we are out on foot, not just the barrier of us riding around in a patrol car, and actually talking to the residents and the business owners of the community when there's not a crisis situation occurring. I think that it improves our relationship.
My belief is that there's a generally good relationship. It may vary depending on where you are in Washtenaw County, but overall I don't sense that there's a lot of hostility or animosity between people that have a badge and the rest of the community.
I believe it's fairly close-knit. We're constantly engaging with different community events. So I think it's important to continue that relationship. So I think the relationship is quite strong.
I think as in everywhere, especially with the way the media has reported the events recently about transactions happening between law enforcement officials and community members, especially young black citizens, and the beatings and the killings that have been going on. There's almost a standoffishness at the moment between the police and the people.
I think it's spread, and I think it's agency dependent. You hear and you see different things from different agencies, and you hear and see different things from the different inmates that we have contact with.
I think it really depends on where you grow up. I grew up in a small town, so the cops were pretty close with everyone that was there. But when you get to bigger cities, I think that there's a relationship that's lacking, and people don't really know who is in the uniform, so they see them more as, not people, but somebody that's just a badge. And I think that, in different towns, that it's a different relationship.
I live in Washtenaw County, so I see people at church, at Kroger, at Meyer, and I think the relationship is a work in progress, but I'm not fearful of any other agencies or inmates.